And we're back here in Columbus, a Nationwide Arena, second intermission. It's time for another edition of Kaiton's Corner. You take the center stage on this particular program by sending us your email questions. Don't forget to email me to Chuck K, Chuck and the letter K, at CarolinaHurricanes.com. Always provide us with your full name and from where you are emailing, the city and state or province you are in all around the world, and we'll answer your question on a future second intermission. That's Chuck K at CarolinaHurricanes.com. With any good question about hockey, it can be about the rules interpretations, about equipment, about the history of the game, anything about the Hurricanes in particular, the National Hockey League in general. And Seth Dussault of Springfield, Massachusetts, who's been a faithful listener over the years, has another question for us here. And it's a little bit about the new uniforms. He has seen different players with the new jerseys make some comments that it maybe retains, maybe not exteriorly, but interiorly, the water when you wear a T-shirt underneath, and it may not be breathing well, the jerseys, that they tear during fights as well. He cites the Cam Jansen and Jesse Bowler's fight between the Devils and the Flyers. With the fact that those jerseys seem to get pulled over and tear quite easily. He wants to know if any of the Hurricane players have made any mention of issues on their new jerseys, like waterlogging or ripping. Is this a universal problem around the league, and what's being done about it if it is? Well, as far as the Hurricane players are concerned, I really haven't heard any complaints about either issue. I think that any time you have new jerseys, obviously, and a new technology, there are always going to be some bugs to be ironed out. I think for the most part, the jerseys look good and they seem to be comfortable. I think the feedback I've been getting from players is that they really feel comfortable in those jerseys. They're more form-fitting, kind of like the National Football League. And to a certain extent, some Major League Baseball uniforms in the waist area and the chest area. So, and they're flexible, they're light, and again, they repel water on the outside, which is very important. But I do think that probably there will be some changes made in terms of when they get feedback from players. But I don't think it's a universally large problem. I think that for the most part, I think the biggest concern coming into getting these new jerseys and with the league and their agreement with Reebok to secure them for every club and to basically put a new face on the game a bit and for the comfort level of the player is that it's a constant process of evaluating the product and evaluating the comfort level and getting feedback from the players. And it's obvious that some of that early feedback has been very helpful for the company, but I don't think it's been a major problem at all. So, Seth, thank you very much for your question. And Billy Baines has a question from Raleigh. He's from the Fuquay-Varina area. And Billy wants to know, in the history of the National Hockey League, how many players have scored over 60 goals? Well, 60 goals is quite a number. In fact, Billy, I don't think that you'll see too many players do that in the future. But the guys that have scored over 60 goals obviously are the leader is Wayne Gretzky. He scored 92 one year in the 81-82 season with the Edmonton Oilers. That's the high water mark. Teemu Selanne scored over 70 goals in his 76 goals one particular season with the Winnipeg Jets. Brett Hull had 82 goals one particular season. So those are the high water marks. Anything over 60, those are the keys to the highest scoring players in National Hockey League history. And it's almost something that'll never be done again. I don't see anybody. In fact, I see a very, very few players score 50 goals in the National Hockey League the way the game is played today, and the fact that so many teams are equal and so much, if it has to do with scoring on the power play and getting your points that way, that's a very good question, Billy. But 60 goals or more in the National Hockey League is very, very difficult to do. I think when you look at some of the other players that in this league today that have a chance to do it, obviously Sidney Crosby's got an opportunity to do it. Alexander Ovechkin has a chance to do it someday, but very, very few will have that opportunity. So thanks to Billy Baines and Seth DeSalt with their questions here tonight in Kaiton's Corner. We'll do it again tomorrow night when the Hurricanes return home to meet the Blue Jackets at the RBC Center. We'll have another edition of this program. Remember to email me to chuckk@carolinahurricanes.com. That's Chuck and the letter K at carolinahurricanes.com with a good question about hockey, anything that's on your mind, whether you're a new fan or a veteran listener to Hurricane Hockey here on the Kane Radio Network. We'll ask you to just give us your full name and where you're emailing from, and we'll answer your question on a future second intermission as we inch our way toward the 07-08 season. I'm Chuck Kaiton.